I'm sure we're all very familiar with the wonderful folk tales, fairy tales, nursery rhymes we all grew up with, which featured many animals, but I didn't think there was anything out there. I looked around. There was nothing out there which featured animals from Singapore. So that's why I set out to write my first book. And now this one is the third one that focuses exclusively on mammals that you can find in Singapore. It's the first in a series. The next few are going to feature birds, creepy crawlies, wildlife, so on and so forth. But yeah, I wanted to, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to come and chat with you at this event today, because I wanted to talk about eco-connectivity. Now, what is it and why does it matter? So I think the theme for today is coexistence, and eco-connectivity is a major step forward in that, I think. Now, I'm a Christian, and I remember very clearly one sermon. The preacher was talking about this verse in the Bible. It's a prophecy of the coming of Jesus, and it goes, "Make straight the way of the Lord. Prepare a way for the Lord." And the preacher explained it that in ancient times, if you knew a king was coming, if you knew you were going to host royalty, and if the roads to go to the place were bad, or if there were no roads, you would specially build a road to host the king or the royalty that was coming to visit. And eco-connectivity is actually about humans, us, finally recognizing that, hey, animals are important enough that we should make roads for them. And in many cases, it's not that the animals didn't have a road to begin with. Of course they did. And it's human beings that, through our development and all that, I think for many, many years, we've been hearing that deforestation is a big problem. Habitat loss is a big problem for many species. But it's only relatively recently that we've started really looking at the idea of habitat fragmentation. Right? Not just that there's large-scale loss of wild places, but that these wild places are being split up so that the animals can't move from one wild place to another. You know, we have problems of when they try and cross the road, they become roadkill, so on and so forth. So this here is a picture of the Sungai U corridor in Malaysia. And of course, you see a huge highway there. But the really wonderful thing is that, they could have just built the road right through the wilderness. But you will see that it's elevated, right? There are these columns there. And the idea is to let the wildlife pass through under it. Okay, and this Sungai U corridor actually links two of the largest tiger habitats in Malaysia. Yeah, here are some photos of volunteers on catwalks. So one of the things that they do is, of course, replanting to make the place more comfortable for the animals, right? For arboreal animals especially, they need trees that are tall enough to accommodate them because they will not go on the ground. The catwalks are a really wonderful initiative, and I also intend to go either when my kids are old enough or when they open up family catwalks, which they have had some family catwalks. I think if you read like this, if you're a parent, if you read this week's Sassy Mama, they have actually interviewed one of the swag volunteers who brought along her 13-year-old, which is very exciting. I would love to go in the future. What about eco-connectivity here in Singapore? Now, I've been working with Mandai, which is developing the Mandai Wildlife Precinct. And of course, you can see from this lower picture here, there's a lot of redevelopment going on in the area. But what was quite important to them was to reconnect the forests that had been split apart by Mandai Lake Road for more than 50 years. And in order to reconnect the two areas of forest, they built this Mandai Wildlife Bridge. And, a lot of thought went into it, to planting rapid growth species so that, again, the trees could grow as quickly as possible. And before Mandai Wildlife Bridge, there was actually the BKE, the Eco-Link at BKE, which was constructed again to join together habitats where animals would regularly be crossing in this particular area and end up as roadkill. So again, I say, it's so thrilling to me that we are finally saying animals are important enough that we should construct roads, construct highways dedicated to them. Oh, by the way, one of the tiger trivia that I am trying to fact check now for Mandai is that tiger mothers, they are so dedicated that they will actually eat their cubs' poo. Because it's so smelly, they want to avoid their cubs being detected by other tigers or predators, so they will actually eat their cubs' poo. Now this I need to fact check. So if there are any tiger experts out there who can shed light on whether or not this is true, please come and find me later, okay? But this is one of the interesting things that I love doing, writing for Mandai and helping to spread the word about these amazing animals, tigers and other amazing animals. So I would like to read you a little excerpt from my newest book and show you how eco-connectivity actually features in the book. All right, so in the classroom. Okay, I give you a little bit of backstory, all right? So Raffles banded langur, which is it's actually one of the species that is endemic to Singapore and Malaysia. You don't find it anywhere else in the world. It's critically endangered, and it is a key character here. So it's quite a mischievous monkey, and it has gone missing. Okay, so after one particular lesson, he was misbehaving very badly, and the teacher, Mrs. Bat, very creepy and fierce teacher, pulled him by the ear out of the classroom, and then he was never seen again. So now his classmates are really worried about him. There in front, you have Shrew, who is giving a presentation, and then you have his classmates Slow Loris and Pangolin, who are talking about Raffles banded langur's disappearance. So Shrew is explaining, shrews have hairy tails with a thick base, while rats have bald, narrow tails. Again, it's all about educating the young people, educating people about animals in a fun way, right? You shouldn't kill shrews. They are not the same as rats. But anyway, Slow Loris says, I'm really worried about Raffles banded langur. He hasn't been in school since Plantain Squirrel's presentation. Pangolin says, do you think Mrs. Bat has something to do with it? Later on, they go to where they know Raffles banded langur lives. But this is what they find. Oh no. So, while they're there, they encounter some other school friends. This is the moon rat. And Slow Loris says, we're looking for someone who's disappeared too. Raffles banded langur. Have you seen him? No. But he and his family group used to live around here. There was a decent langur population and they were good neighbors. But ever since the humans came with the big, noisy things, the whole habitat has changed. The community is not what it once was. And here's the wild boar, providing the sad violin music. But, okay, spoiler alert, I'm skipping to the happy ending. The wild boar. This is my daughter, Emmanuel. She's illustrating for us a wild boar, okay? Thank you, Emmanuel. Right, so I skipped. If you want to find out how they actually, what adventures they go through and how they get to the happy ending, he's back, he's alive, they're all really happy, and how he has managed to make it back is, right, what happened was humans actually suddenly tore up a stretch of jungle to make a road, and my family and I were stranded on the other side. I couldn't get to school for ages, but they have just built an eco-link, so I was finally able to cross the road this morning and resume his schooling and education. Super important. Okay, yes. Yes, so, and they lived happily ever after, we hope, all right? I think as realists, all of us are realists, we know that human development, it's not going to stop. It's going to keep on going. But I think that the attitude that, hey, we need to make space for the animals. We need to accommodate the animals. We need to make sure that they have ways to get around. Make sure that we think about eco-connectivity as we develop new projects. I think that is really the way for the future. And, I hope that you'll stop by my booth outside to check out my books. And thank you all for coming today. And thank you for the wonderful work that you're all doing in conservation.